Barry Monterosa is my guest host. He is one of the premier beer writers in the country. Writes for all kinds of beer publications and. Right?
Not so many
Why are you laughing?
Because I actually resigned from one recently.
Oh.
I'll tell you about it later. Again, talk to Mark.
Well, yeah, I'm trying to build you up here.
No.
Mark Haynie is also a well-known area beer personality. I don't know how else to describe you, but he's got his fire inspector's uniform on today, which I think is pretty cool.
Well, we're going to do a quick recipe here. It's one that I've made before, a Belgian chicken. Browning chicken in onions, and just then adding a nice Belgian brown ale to the mix near the end, and let it steep for a little while, and you're good to go. Spice it as you like it.
So no caramelizing?
No, you really don't want to boil the beer. So you can you actually could.
Why not?
Well, because it brings out it can bring out some off flavors. Cooking.
Are we pan frying the chicken?
Yes, you're going to
pan frying the chicken with onions.
With onions, yes.
Okay.
And then you can spice it as you like it.
How are we pan frying with what? With
you can use butter.
Butter?
Butter, yeah. It would add with the Belgian beer, it adds a nice.
What's butter, Gary?
That's out of your diet.
I've been
now,
using
isn't it?
Pam.
Yes. Okay. Pam's good.
People like giving
butter flavored Pam, I guess. But, whatever. And
so when do you put the beer in?
Right near the end, and you're going to let it.
I mean, like the back end of the chicken, or?
No. Well, you're going to probably use parts of chicken anyway, pieces of chicken, and not a whole chicken.
So it's onions and chicken and beer.
And beer.
That's it?
And any spices that you...
Ed Hitzel's no salt, but everything's spiced.
How come a Belgian brown? I mean, other styles would work too, right?
Other styles would work, yeah. But a Belgian brown makes it like a Belgian dish. I mean, they do make like that in Belgium. So.
You can also have a beer dessert. You can make an ice cream float with beer. You use a porter, possibly, or a stout.
Are you going to teach us how to do that?
Well, I'll tell you what. Just take a little scoop of maybe vanilla ice cream, and I'll take my float over yours anytime. Put maybe like a nice, maybe a Lancaster milk stout would be a nice addition. I've also done
in vanilla ice cream.
Yeah, exactly.
Just that's it. Vanilla ice cream.
Top it with a cherry.
Maybe.
Well, yeah, why not? Sure. I've also actually taken Belgian lambics, fruit lambics, and drizzled it over. Yeah, like Lindemann's Framboise, for example, is a very, very popular
I love it when
beer.
you say Framboise.
I have about 150 different bottles of beer, like Mark. I mean, I have a lot of different beers in my house. Yeah, I do.
Is it proper to have a cellar for beer?
Why not?
Well, I don't know. You have a wine cellar.
Well, yeah, you can. I mean, mine certainly is not as fancy, probably.
What's in your refrigerator right now?
What is in my refrigerator right now? Everything from Brooklyn Local 1 to a host of aged beers.
Look at me.
Do I have to?
What?
He's better looking.
Aged beers?
Yeah,
what age?
I've got some beers going back to 1982.
In your refrigerator right now?
Well, it's in my cellar, yeah.
Well, when are you going to drink them?
I don't know. That's a good question. I've broken some out occasionally, and I've served some. Mark, I know, has had a few.
In 1982?
Yeah, exactly.
It's
Anchor Christmas Ale, it's called. It's an annual beer, obviously.
Well, how do you know it's not bad?
Well, you really don't. Every bottle is going to be different, but I've had some. Sporadically, I've opened some to see what they're like. Some seem to age better than others. Now, of course, I haven't had these beers since '82. I got them from someone else, an employee of Anchor. And you hope that he's storing them properly. In other words, keeping them out of the direct light. Hopefully the temperature is constant, constant cool temperature.
Does beer age?
Certain ones do. Most don't.
Does that beer age?
Yes, it does.
How does the flavor change?
Well, because the recipe on this particular beer changes each year, it's tough to do what we would call a vertical tasting as they do in wines, where you try the same vintage, if you will, from, let's say, 2007, 6, 5. The recipe on this particular beer, something the companies opted to do. They come out with a beer every year around Christmas time, but they change the recipe ever so slightly.
Oh, okay.
Now, not everyone does that, certainly. So if I'm buying a different beer...
This is Anchor Steam's Christmas beer.
Anchor's Christmas beer, right, out of California.
Is that owned by Fritz Maytag?
Yes, it is. He's the principal owner.
Fritz Maytag also owns the cheese company.
Maytag Blue Cheese, right.
And the appliance company.
And you think of the appliance.
So he makes washers and beer.
Yes, I was going to say, he's actually into the whiskeys. Has a great whiskey called Old Potrero. But he also owns a number of vineyards in the Napa Valley.
Didn't Maytag use the Basset Hound in its commercials?
Oh, my
Yeah,
God.
remember that?
Years ago, yeah.
My goodness, you're older than I thought you were. Jesus.
Well, you know why? Because I used to know a Basset Hound who drank beer. I wonder if that's the connection.
I have no idea. I remember once, though, I had dinner with Fritz. Oh, my gosh, about 4 or 5 years
You
ago.
had dinner with Fritz Maytag?
Yeah.
Really?
Really.
Wow.
And he said,
What's he like?
He's a great guy. I would consider him a Renaissance man. He speaks fluent Japanese. And he said, at one point, I'd like a dinner served to a typical American family to include everything coming from me, from the Maytag family.
Did you see his washer and dryer?
No, he didn't show me that. No. But we were actually, it was a wine.
Wouldn't it be
wine
cool if he had a
dinner.
Westinghouse?
He's a great guy, though. He's really a cool guy. And, when he speaks
How did you get
before
to
the
meet
press.
him?
Actually, I guess I met him the first time when he was doing a presentation to members of the press in Pennsylvania, and he held up a bottle of Anchor Steam beer, and that's, again, his company. And he tells the story about how he bought the company. He basically liked the beer. He was a student in San Francisco in the mid-'60s. And, in fact, this is recounted, I think, in Mark's book. And he talked about how the bartender said, well, if you like this beer, buy it because we're going to be shutting down. Enjoy it, rather. You're going to be shutting down. So he ends up cutting a check for approximately $1 million or so, and he buys controlling interest in the company.
Wow.
So when he stands before the press, he holds up a bottle of the beer and he says, "You see this beer? It cost me $1 million to make it."
It's pretty funny.
So it's
I have a conundrum
So do I.
for
but
you
the
and
doctor-
Mark. For
the
you
doctor
and Mark.
cleared
Now
it
this
up.
is important. I know we're taping your show here,
Are we still taping?
Yeah.
so I
Taping
have a
this?
conundrum,
Yes.
and I think this is important.
Good.
And I think it's a nice segment for your show and for my show.
Okay.
I have a teenage boy. He's 19 years old.
Mhm.
He has a lot of friends. Okay. I go outside this morning to take the trash out. Under my back porch is a half drunk? Is that the proper word? Drunken?
Yeah.
A half-drunken bottle of Heineken. A big bottle.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say.
So
that
immediately
one of your
I
neighbors
thought-
was under your porch.
I thought to myself, aha! So, what's the next step? What do I do? What do you assume from
I would
that?
look for the other 5 bottles. Have a good time.
What do we assume from this bottle, and what
Well,
should
we
I do about it?
Can certainly assume.
You can
that-
jump in too, Mark.
We well, someone has had half that bottle. But
Yes.
If I'm living in your house, I'm not going to leave it under the porch, where someone
So you
can
don't think
find
it was
it.
my son?
Well, I happen to like your son, so I give him the benefit of the doubt there.
I can ask him. I mean, just
Oh, definitely.
straight up. I mean, just
Ask him.
straight up ask him, and then you start the education. I mean, it's a little late now, actually, at 19.
Well, I did the
and
same.
I know I never did it myself. I mean, I wish
I did the
had,
same thing for him
you know,
that my
but-
did for me. I let him
Right.
taste the beer. And
Right.
Explain what it
you
was.
just, my
Told him to stay away
parents
from
always
Gary.
allowed me to drink wine and beer at home. As long as I stayed home.
But what if it's not him?
But if it's not him, then
What if it's me?
I don't know you.
No, but I was thinking maybe one of his friends.
Yeah, that's
That could
possible.
be. Yeah, I mean, you've got to
Yeah,
approach him and ask him. How did
Yeah.
this get there? Where are the
Yeah,
others?
if he knew anything about it. I mean, you
Mhm.
just-
And it was Heineken?
It was Heineken.
Oh, okay. Well, I wouldn't search too heavily for the other 5.
I guess they're not one of your sponsors.
No. On the back cover of my book, when it comes out later on this year,
Yeah.
there's a picture of me at age 2 taking a sip of beer.
Is
My
there?
mother and grandmother are seated next to me, and I'm taking a sip of beer.
And what was the brand?
Oh my goodness, I don't know, but it was dark. It was a dark beer. I'm
When
not
you were
really
2?
aware of- Yeah. Oh yeah. Looking at the pictures,
You
amazing.
sure it was beer?
Yeah. Because my cousin sent me the picture several years ago, and he said, "Remember this?" And I said, "Tell me what was going on." He says, "I was at the house. I took the picture because you were taking a sip out of your mother's beer."